Welcome guys, come in. Thanks to a very good friend of mine, Claudio, I started teaching for the first time in Colchester, and it was in a MMA gym. And from that, I started teaching regular classes. That was in 2009. And then from then on, we started the gym in Colchester, and from the success of the gym in Colchester, there was a lot of people that was training here in Chelmsford, and we decided that we want to get the gym a bit closer to other students. And this was how the Essex Dojo started pretty much. We pretty much started in a little place in Fitness First, where we used to set up mats, and James Costa, who's a brown belt now, started teaching there when he was a blue belt. And from all this hard work, from all the dedication and the passion that we put in this sport, in Jiu-Jitsu, we started this place. As you can see here, is very close to the station. It's a very welcoming, very warm place, very friendly place. Our main focus is the lifestyle of Jiu-Jitsu, is bringing the lifestyle of Jiu-Jitsu to everyone around us, everyone in Essex. We have police officers that are getting the benefits of the work and using Jiu-Jitsu and all. We also have families training here. We have guys who are 50 years old and have like 3 kids, and they all of them train here, and they all get a little bit of benefit, from fitness to confidence with the kids to your self-defense, everything. Your diet improves, your life pretty much improves once you start looking into Jiu-Jitsu. Definitely improved mine, and definitely improved my students. We don't really sell Jiu-Jitsu as a product. It's not a product, it's pretty much a lifestyle.
I started training in February 2010 in Colchester at an MMA gym, and when I first started, my friend took me to training first. He'd gone there before. It was advertised as an MMA sort of no-gi class, and we wanted to train UFC. I loved it straight away. He trained a couple more weeks and then sort of slowly phased out, and I just kept training with Alain from the beginning.
I feel like I want to bring it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when you think about it, and I want to bring a little bit of Brazil, like when I remember it started in Brazil. I try to make it as friendly, as organic as possible. I mean, a lot of people are used to the traditional martial art where you bow, where you look at a person as a guru, as a sensei or whatever. I'm a sports coach. That's really my role here, and we practice a sport, a very healthy sport. The atmosphere is really laid back and very relaxed, and we're not really tough. No one here is tough. We train hard. The training can be tough if you want the training to be tough. The training can be tough. But other than that, outside of the gym, everybody pretty much, my students compete in MMA, for example, and they like comics, and they like to be whoever they are. The type of macho guy who is acting all tough all the time, he's not really in the competition. He's not really in the tournaments. He's not really training every day. He's not grinding every day. We have a kids program, and then we have teenagers here as well. And at the same time, we got the environment with the adult classes. The adult classes, we got the beginners program. We also have more advanced classes, but let's say you're a beginner and you're interested in doing the advanced classes, is perfectly fine. You can attend any classes. We have MMA classes here. We have judo classes, a very good judo program as well. We have a very good wrestling coach teaching here. We have no-gi, submission only, for all levels. Any classes are designed to be for all levels. All our instructors are very experienced.
I buck, I make the space, my foot comes over, and all I need to do is bump my hip into his armpit again. So I come across, bump, We have beginners training twice a week. We have a syllabus which we rotate through. It takes 10 to 12 weeks, covering most of the common positions in Jiu-Jitsu, and gives them a good basis to move on to the more advanced and mixed sessions. We have a focus on specific training, so it's a really good introduction for new guys into Jiu-Jitsu. You'll know quite quickly that whether you enjoy it. It's very addictive, so we ease people in gently. There's no kind of smashing the new guy. You know, it's a very comfortable intro. We stick to your pace. We try and build up your, some people come in with a good baseline of fitness. Other people, they haven't done exercise for years. We work with you at your level.
Yeah, I started teaching about a year and a half ago. Before I would just used to train and I can do a lot of stuff, but if you ask me what did I just do, I have no idea. I just do this. Okay, but when you have to teach, you kind of really have to break everything down and see, maybe I've been doing this wrong or been doing this wrong, and then you kind of just get more into the studying side. I enjoy, especially if you show someone a technique and then you see him doing it, it's like you feel really proud of that. It's a really good feeling.
When you have a lot of good guys training together, you really have to concentrate on the environment of the club. If you have 5, 6, 10 competitors and champions in your gym, they thrive and they want to be somewhere. You really have to concentrate on having people around you for the next 10 years in a positive environment. Well, everybody feels that they have a chance.
Like, you wouldn't think a little gym like this gym's tiny, but you wouldn't think it has so many good guys, but we just all train really hard and we all just really love what we do,
We all just want to strive together for greatness. There's no one pushing so far that everyone's miles behind, that everyone's pushing each other.
Iron sharpens iron, that's what we do. We have good guys and we just push each other, and it's just a focus, and obviously Alain is behind it all, and Alain is the one motivating us, telling us, you should compete here. He's the one trying to find sponsorships to just support us to go to Europeans, Worlds, all these different competitions, and that's just the environment.
If you're working really hard, if you're training really hard, if you spending a lot of time on the mats and you want to have that opportunity, then that's the role as a coach, to look for your best interests.
And Alain's always provided me and the rest of us a lot of opportunities. He's given us the opportunity to be able to do this full time.
He looks after us all the time and really supports us as athletes. It's more than just having him. It's not just having him as a coach. He really looks after us, and he's not just he teaches a class, we go home, that's it.
Dedication is the main thing that you have to look at for to your students. It's not a job that I clock in and I clock out. It's 7 days a week. It's part of the lifestyle. It's 365 days a year.
Alain, man, he goes above and beyond his duties as a coach. He looks out for everybody, and it's not just a few people, it's the entire team. I've never in my life seen such a great motivator. He can just capture a room full of people and motivate them whatever they want to do, and he'll help you out however he can, not just the jiu-jitsu as well. Anything he can do to help any of the guys here, he will.
So much experience through competing himself, and just from life, he's done a lot, he's travelled a lot, he knows a lot, so I do try and take on board everything he says, He's a fantastic guy, great person to learn from, competes everything. So he's not someone that's just telling you to do it. You know, he's done it. He actually fought MMA as well. So it's not like he's talking like nonsense to me. It's like, hey, yeah, you've done it, so I'll take it on board. You know.
We all compete. All the instructors in this club. There's not one instructor that, you know, doesn't stop competing or anything. We all compete. I also want to make sure that I know what you feel when you get on the mats or when you get on the submission-only platform or when you're competing in the cage. I need to know what's going through your head. Why are you so nervous? Instead of just saying, you go there and fight, you know?
Still? Yes! Yes! Perfect, Alain!
It's a great atmosphere. We've got a great bunch of guys here. A lot of banter.
I've been to a bunch of different gyms all over the world as well, and there's no place like home. You know, everyone's super cool. Like, everyone's just having a laugh as well. Like, we train so hard. Like, when you see the training, everything goes super serious. Like, that's the number one rule. No matter what, the training comes first more than anything. But then afterwards, we're always like just joking with each other, laughing, and just taking the mick out of each other. It's really good.
We welcome absolutely everybody. Really supportive team. Yeah, it's a great place for every person of every nationality, every gender, every race. We really try and make it super inclusive here.
Yeah, it's a nice vibe here, a nice atmosphere. There's none of this act tough shit here. We don't do that. We just all like to work hard. That's it, and we all buzz with each other. Someone does well, and there's no negativity. Everyone tries to like strive towards it and whatever.
We kind of try to look like who's the best team. Like if you look at like Atos, AOJ, all these big teams, like you look at those guys when they're at the tournaments, they're all friendly, they'll just shake hands, they're really cool. They don't have to just scream and do all this craziness. We just kind of try to follow that model because it's all about training and competing and just being respectful and friendly to everyone else.
One of the reasons that I get into training is because we're here so often for the kids. Both our partners train, so you know we're here all the time. It is like a family, you know, atmosphere. There's no pressure for the kids. It's not like, you know, do 100 burpees and do this, and it's more fun based, and then with a few techniques thrown in.
I've got two boys, so they're at home and they fight all the time. But I just go, well, you go training, do it there. Makes my hands quiet.
I agree, it's definitely an outlet for them, and you know, they learn respect as well. I think it's great. I think all kids should do it, you know, especially when it comes to sort of young girls and, you know, for safety reasons, and even guys as well, you know.
Careful with injuries, everybody. We have the kids classes that are not really pushed too much. The jiu-jitsu of the kids classes is more, we do a lot of like body movement for jiu-jitsu, a lot of games based on exercises and body movement, a bit of gymnastics, and not really focusing to tournaments too much for kids.
I think they look up to him, don't they?
Definitely, he's well respected.
You just go, right, if you're going to be naughty, they tell Alain.
I teach as well in Chelmsford, another Carlson, Gracie, Essex gym, and I teach the kids in the lunchtime classes there as well. It can be stressful sometimes, but no, I really enjoy it. I wouldn't change it. We've got some great kids down in Chelmsford and Colchester as well. We've got some really young talent there. There's ones to watch out for in the future.
So my name's Sergeant Mick Hill. I'm from the British Army, 7 Para RHA, part of the British Army's Airborne Forces. Where we're at today is the Penthouse Combat Club, and it's our gym that we started a while back now to bring jiu-jitsu into the army. Basically, we realised that there was a gap, there was nobody doing it, and we wanted it. So we started off with an horrible little upstairs place, some rubbish mats, and we've ended up in this place. Jiu-jitsu still is growing, isn't it? You know, it's not a big sport. It's not Olympic level. It's not there. So it was hard for the British Army to take notice of it until we started winning. So we had to put ourselves on the line a little bit, and with very little experience, go and fight. We had to compete pretty much straight away.
They just thought it was like running around
in gis, rolling around sort of thing as well, and karate stuff like the stuff in the movies. So we were like, right, we need to convince these guys that it's a legit sport and it works. Because obviously being in the army, you want to know how to defend yourself, and for us BJJ was like the perfect thing.
We know, the guys in the jiu-jitsu community know that it works. We know what it can do for us as a person. It improves everything. To me it does anyway, it's improved everything. But we had to prove it to the army, so we created this place, started putting the medals on a board, started giving it an identity on social media, etc. All for the goal of getting the army to go, actually, this is the nuts, this is the stuff, this is what we should be doing, and we are getting closer to it. We realised very quickly we needed not only a coach and instructor, but a team to help us.
When we turned up at Carlson, Gracie, Essex for the first time, we were like, yeah, this is the place. We knew straight away, just from like a 2-minute conversation with Alain, having a roll round and getting beaten up, we were like, yeah, this is the place, we've got to come back here.
And that was, I don't know, 3 years ago, and we've never been anywhere else, and we've not stopped going, because he straight away put us under no illusion that we were going to be in a club that was high level. We were going to be in a place that competed a lot, so the guys are often competing. It fit straight away to us, because we needed to learn. We need to get in there straight away. We needed to really learn, really be put to the test, and that's exactly what Carlson's does. That's what Carlson Gracie Essex does, whether it be in Chelmsford or Colchester. There's guys there every time we go who will absolutely push us to our limit.
Straight away, I think from getting to train here quite a lot and training with like Carlson Gracie Essex and all the quality training partners and the instruction we were getting from Alain and all the other guys there, we were doing quite well. We were meddling quite a lot. So straight away the army was like looking and thinking, okay, this is something that's obviously works and all that sort of stuff. So eventually we got more time to train. We got to train some of the guys, so we'd take like some of the batteries, we call them batteries, inside the regiment. We'd get to take them for lessons and stuff, and then the hierarchy would see it then, and then they'd basically get on board. It's only early now, but like me and Mick and Rob, we've always said that this should be part of the curriculum. So when you join the army, you get issued your rifle, your Bergen, your helmet and all your clothes, and there's a gi and a white belt as well.
Fighting day in, day out with somebody in close proximity, it helps you understand each other, it helps you understand your team and the bond that you create. And even though it is, when you get on the mat, an individual sport, you are a team. So Carlson Gracie Essex, the Penthouse, the Essex Dojo, we're all a team, and we all help each other and we all look after each other, so it makes, again, perfect sense to do it in the military.
These guys have an incredible work ethic, Since day one, they came to the gym in Colchester and they started training and they started getting focused, and they had a goal, which I think is very important. If you start jiu-jitsu, you need a goal. So they had a goal. They wanted to compete. They wanted to start a gym inside the army, and they achieved all what they were looking for. Now they have one of my students, Captain Robin Maynard. He won the prize of Athlete of the Year at the Army, the Army Awards, and it was a very special day for me as well. I was a guest there, and to have someone in the Army, in the British Army, win an award as the Athlete of the Year, considering that they had also rugby, football, and other very popular sports, to have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in their first year to win that award. It was a very, very important day for us.
Hi, my name's Captain Rob Maynard. I'm Officer Commanding for British Army Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that means that I'm in charge of all Jiu-Jitsu programs within the Army, running competitions and developing Jiu-Jitsu as a sport within the forces itself. I'm a member of the Army Martial Arts Association, which is our governing body for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like I say, is the newest recognised sport within the armed forces. We see it as a fantastic benefit because it allows you to control a person without having to strike them. Therefore, it gives you that benefit of a low-impact sport that allows you to generate better fitness. With Carlson Gracie Essex, Alain Pozo is obviously my senior coach. So we started off by going to his club there, fell in love with the sport ourselves, and then decided to try and introduce the sport into the army itself. So myself, as the officer commanding for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, then presented a case to the Army Sports Control Board to develop a program which would allow us to compete at army level and then into services. So recently we've just fought against the Royal Navy, RAF and the Royal Marines, where the army team, run by myself, actually won that event. One of the main sort of concepts we've had to try to get across to people is it's a non-striking martial arts. So that's been a real educational process where we've put on seminars for senior people within the armed forces. Again, the Army Sports Control Board, we put a seminar on for them to actually validate what we do as a recognised military sport. Also, the sideline for this being not only a combat sport is then we look at the sports side of it, where we then introduce competitive sports. So most regimental teams, or most regiments, will have football teams and rugby teams. The aspiration is to have, for every regiment, to have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu team, and therefore we can fight amongst ourselves to select the best people to represent the armed forces in civilian events.
I just went there yesterday for a seminar for a charity, Roll to Recovery, helping soldiers and veterans with not just physical but mental disabilities as well, depression, PTSD, things like that. So we had a seminar there yesterday. It was a really good turnout actually, and a lot of the guys come over here and train with us anyway. They're all break guns guys, really funny guys, tough as well.
Well, we had one of the guys, Ash Hall, who started training at the gym, who's a W amputee from an IED in Afghanistan, and we're finding a lot of the guys that are coming along are really benefiting from doing the jiu-jitsu, whether they've got battlefield injuries or PTSD. It's really helping them getting over all these problems. It's called Roll to Recovery. It was a name thought of by the founder, Andy Good. I'm the co-founder, and we're going along. We're going to start putting on sessions just for the guys with battlefield injuries and PTSD, so they get a 3 nights training at the gym, probably a coffee afterwards, talk with like-minded guys, and hopefully it'll benefit them. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We're starting to work with a foundation, which is the Invicta Foundation. It's a recognised charity that helps battlefield injury guys and PTSD, helps them getting their treatment. We've become their main project for this year, so things are moving on from there. Maybe other gyms take the Roll to Recovery sort of attitude and idea on themselves, or even as far as having our own Roll to Recovery gyms dotted around the country.
What we do is we support good mentality, good attitude. That's what our brand's all about. It's all about having positive minds and mentally fit, actively fit, and that's what our brand represents. So what we're trying to do here is promote as much attitude, positive energy as possible. As part of that whole mentality is supporting Roll to Recovery. They are a local charity which we're working with. We're producing Roll to Recovery gis and rash guards, also providing seminars as well, hosted by Carlson, Gracie, Essex coaches and instructors. And they're doing such a great thing to support all the armed forces, PTSD, and making sure that it's being aware and people are getting support and help through training. We're supporting our local clubs and team members as well from Carlson, Gracie, Essex.
It's a very controlled sport, so there's a lot of technique involved, and I haven't seen many people getting really severely injured doing this sport because it's very controlled. You have an option always to tap when you feel pressured, or when you feel that there's a submission coming, there's joint manipulation, or you're getting strangled, you tap and that's it, and we start again.
It's not really a brutal sport in that kind of sense. I'm a small guy myself and I roll with all the bigger guys. It's not nice all the time, but it's always worth it when you train.
I remember thinking to myself, actually, do you know what? I'll wait until next week, or I'll wait until someone else comes. But you need to just like wake up and be like, I'm gonna go do it. And it's a great, like, it'll probably be one of the best things you do in your life. It's definitely one of the best things I've ever done, you know.
To jump in straight away, come in to the gym, jump in. I know there's a little bit of like a stigma attached to gyms. Everyone's like, oh, tough guys, cauliflower ears, and it can be a bit intimidating sometimes, but it's really not like that at all. That's what I love about Jiu-Jitsu, is it has such a diverse sort of people that bring to it. You know, we've got policemen, we've got every sort of people you could think of, and they're all coming for their own reasons. Everyone's reasons are different for training, but when we get on the mat, everyone forgets their problems, everyone just grinds it out and trains hard.
There's a lot of the people I speak to, they say, oh man, I like what you're doing now, I would want to do that. Why not then? Like, I think most first sessions at places are free, you know, just give it a go, just come down. Like, we have messages all the time saying, is it alright if I come? But we want everyone to come all the time, like everyone's super cool, you know.
It gives you goals, even just competing in like small tournaments around this area, you know, or even around the UK, whatever. It's, they're goals towards like even cutting weight, things like that, you know, things that like people in their everyday life want to do but lack motivation. This sport gives you motivation for everything. Yeah, and like I said, like, it's built a massive confidence in me, I feel, through this and the MMA as well, that everyday life's a little bit easy, you know. There's nothing that really stops me.
It's not about getting like the submissions or going to tournaments and getting all this. It's about just coming in. Even if you get smashed by everyone, you come out of the gym and you just feel so good. All of a sudden you just have this feeling like, wow, I overcome this big thing, like this fear, because everyone has that. I would just say, just keep coming, and you know, it will really benefit the whole lifestyle of Jiu-Jitsu.